What's up, y'all? This Exodus One, aka Indigo Sky, aka y'all already know who it is, man. Trigger ranking the trigger man himself. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, definitely hit notification bell if you like to support the channel. Cash app description and follow me on any other platform. Everything is at the top of the YouTube. With that being said, y'all, let's get this show on the resort. Let's go. his heart begins to beat. Just now, I'll touch your shoulder. Turning up the street. They say, why? Tell them that's human nature. Why does it do me that way? Say why? Human nature. 'Cause it do me that way. I like living this way. Like loving this. Going on, brethren. Hold on, brethren. We gotta see what all shit.
So how good does it feel to say on your commercial?
This nigga Willie D. I'm gonna pray for George Zimmerman. He's so damn stupid. Pray for George Zimmerman. Funny looking man. Alright, y'all. I don't know. It says something about Jay-Z got exposed, y'all. So Chris Brown snapped on his prison friend. What? Yeah, it's got a lot going on. What's up? Hey, how you doing? DD, what's up? How you doing? Where you tapping in from, DD? Damn. That one 30, that one 28. We already got about 2 hours worth of content. Just the first 3 videos, my nigga. All right, y'all. So look, we about to tap in. We about to rock with Poetic Flacco for I think the first 2 videos we're gonna rock with Poetic Flacco. That's what we're reacting to. If y'all don't want to hear me reacting over or commentating over his video, y'all just go to his channel. He has a great channel. Y'all go check him. Poetic Flacco. Poetic Flacco. Something about Jay-Z though. Let's see what the hell they talking about. Somebody Jay-Z though.
Today is the
Jay-Z though. Goddamn.
Jay-Z is dead terrified of what he knows is the inevitable. And you could tell how scared Jay is because the Jay Avengers are already rushing to get ahead of the narrative. And no disrespect to Charlamagne the God, because that's my top 2 media personalities of all time. But they're already rushing to get ahead of a narrative that hasn't even been put out there. Ray Daniels has found himself as public enemy number 1 for Jay Avengers because Ray Daniels dare reported a source that he got about Jay-Z and his potential album, right? The crime against humanity that Ray Daniels...
Okay, so I don't know. They still keep talking about this goddamn supposedly album coming out. He's supposed to be dropping the album, and Jay-Z done put out that shit capped. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just know that it says an album dropping. I don't know if an album is dropping. So hey, it is what it is. I would like to hear a new album from Jay-Z. I hear like that shit. But it's crazy because I haven't heard, like, it's a couple albums dropped. I haven't heard pretty much no songs. Like, Future just dropped a couple weeks back. Rick Ross just dropped. Who else dropped? Oh, Pooh Shiesty just dropped. Pooh just dropped, my nigga.
Committed was
Pooh dropped Friday, though.
Reporting something on Jay-Z that he was told. And what he reported was Jay-Z has his album done already, but Jay-Z has not dropped his album because Jay-Z is waiting on a partner to help him promote the album so he don't flop.
learn from Hove. Hove is not gonna put himself out there to be laughed at. It's just I'm not doing 60,000, y'all. By the way, tell you something that I know I heard about on the Jay-Z tip. Just a little quick update. His album is done.
Okay.
It's completely done. It's just we might get it if somebody partners with him. If nobody partners with him, it's not coming.
Wow.
And I mean, at the end of the day, like, look, Jay-Z don't. Well, he wants to partner. I say he wants to partner because he don't want to come out and it be like mediocre numbers. Okay, cool. But yeah, like it's mediocre. Like, so I don't think Jay want to drop and have it to be said, oh, he sold 60,000 the first week or some shit like that, because it would look bad for Jigga. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Jigga's basically looked at as one of the GOATs in hip hop. So, and he don't want that on his jacket. So by him partnering with someone, he could do like what he already doing. He partnered with Target to sell the 30-year release of the Reasonable Doubt joint.
Saying about it, you cannot play about your brand.
You said this like a month ago.
Yeah, somebody called and confirmed it from me, so I was like, okay, I just want to reveal it to you.
He's not gonna have.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here first. Let's go.
Does first week sales at this point even matter?
I don't think so.
It only matters to the industry and the people that want to laugh at you. If the industry matters, that's the only time. It's nothing.
Because back in the day, if you didn't sell a certain amount, you was dropped immediately.
Nigga, it was they ain't answer your phone.
Hell no. If you didn't do 100,000, you
done.
You're done.
Yep.
That was a major number.
You had to be big. It was either you bigger than 100,000 first week or you smaller. It was two ways of measuring.
Yep, that was it.
Here's the unique part about that. Ray Daniels ain't even used the word flop. All Ray Daniels said was, Jay-Z don't want to sell 60,000. Ray Daniels ain't never said 60,000 was a flop. He just said, hey, Jay don't want to sell no 60,000, man. So Jay is holding off on his album. He's trying to find any partner he can partner up with to work on the rollout and promotion so he could do numbers. At the very least, he do something like he did with Sprint back in the day, where Sprint bought up 1 million copies before Jay dropped the album, bro. Jay went platinum on day one, right?
Damn.
So he's trying to finagle something of that sort, so he don't gotta look at 60K, because he knows. He knows academics got the load up button already ready, man.
I paid $62,000.
Yeah, that nigga academic gonna get on your ass, boy.
Using nothing
Jay
but
Flop, well, if you sell 60,000 album,
Academics
DJ
already
Academic
got the
gonna get on
load
that
up
ass,
button ready
boy.
for that first week sales, man. Do I believe somebody told Ray Daniels that? Absolutely, I do. Why would Ray Daniels lie? And let's stop being dense here, bro. Let's cut the flop conversation. Let's cut the 60K conversation, bro. We know ultimately Jay-Z does not want to lose to Drake. He don't want to drop this album and then do 30,000, and then Drake fans, right, got to talk about it for the next 6 months. He
Not gonna outsell Drake. I believe even if he partners with somebody, who's he gonna partner with? Like if we're talking.
So this look like where Poeta Flacco does his stream at. What's up, Diddy again? Yeah, this look like
whatever.
This look like what?
I just can't see it happening. I can't see him outselling Drake or even holding a candle to Drake's album.
personally, I think it's unfair to compare Jay-Z in year, 40 to Drake. Jay-Z is not an active rapper anymore. Drake is. But here's the thing. Jay-Z and Rock Nation, right, just got exposed by What's the Dirt. What's the Dirt already exposed how obsessed they are with Drake. They now have to take every measure to downplay their obsession with Drake. So you know what they did when Ray Daniels came online? And Ray Daniels, let that T go, pause.
They said that shit was cap. They said it was cap. They said album done, cap.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
And said, hey, bruh, they told me, they desperately searching for a partner, and they ain't dropping his album until they find a partner to make sure Jay-Z don't sell 60,000. You know what Rock Nation did? Rock Nation, for the first time on earth, like I've never seen Rock Nation do this. They took to their Instagram story to respond back to a Twitter clip with 50,000 views. That's how you know Ray Daniels is telling the truth. Roc Nation posted to their Instagram story in quotations album done, quoting Ray Daniels and saying that quote, the album done, is fake news. Jay-Z's album is...
I said that shit cap.
Stop the cap. No more.
not done, according to them. Now, the reason why they said this is to also double respond to the narrative that Jay-Z is waiting to drop his album so he can find a partner. They're saying, no, that's not true at all. Now, I ain't never seen Roc Nation do this. Like, the last time I seen Roc Nation put out a statement like this was when Busby, right, tried to end Jay-Z and send his career to the gulags. That's the last time I seen Roc Nation put out a statement like this. Okay, so for Roc Nation to do this, it tells me everything I need to know. Here's what's more surprising to me than a Roc Nation post. The consensus is actually split. Like, people are actually divided on this. Like, I was expecting for people to be cooking Roc Nation wholeheartedly, but apparently that's not the case. Because one person posted, Roc Nation mad he spoiled the surprise, but they basically just confirmed the album even exists. Somebody says, see how easy it is to just let someone claim to be an insider? Nobody asked for him to lie. He just did it to try and gain credibility. Ray Daniels is like an ex-music executive. Like, Ray Daniels signed NLE Chopper and other people. I don't think Ray Daniels is putting his credibility at risk like that, bro. Yo, if Ray Daniels was like, I don't know, bro, like the Schmo Joe podcaster, right, then I'm probably looking at it like, all right, like, who's your sources? But Ray Daniels is a former music exec. Like, Ray Daniels, you know, is an exec, like, he was signing artists that we all know. So I don't think he has no sources, right? So somebody says, too late. The think pieces and tinfoil hat tweets already started. So this person...
Damn. But see, it could be, I don't know who's saying it, but they were saying it could be like a play. It could be some shit where they just put that, they let him say that, and then people gonna be like, oh, it's coming out, or it's not coming out. And they gonna have two people going at each other. Then when the album dropped, it got a whole lot more traction. So everybody gonna go and you know, get the album. So
come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Believes that Ray Daniels was lying as well. Somebody says Ray Daniels, the same MF that was pushing the narrative that Roc Nation gave Fat Joe the green light to speak down on J. Cole because Joe signed Roc Nation and Dumbass Ninjas was really believing him. Again, Roc Nation mad Ray Daniels spoiled the surprise, but he basically just confirmed the album even exists. It's really split down the middle. Like, this is really split down the middle. Like, people can't call it. Listen, do I got a problem with Jay-Z? I got a problem with how Jay-Z moves. It's nothing personal. So as an unbiased, neutral voice here, I can tell you from my perspective, my confirmation, right, that Roc Nation was lying and Ray Daniels was telling the truth, my personal confirmation was when I seen how the seeing Charlamagne the God run to the Breakfast Club to give Ray Daniels Donkey Up the Day over a Twitter post. Come on, bro. Like, come on, cuz. Like, what else y'all need to know, man?
Come on now,
Tell
dog.
a real question here.
Come on, man.
What other than the truth would require this level of damage control? Roc Nation damn near recruited the entire J Avengers to go at Ray Daniels today.
Yesterday, Ray Daniels got it really wrong. See, he was on his podcast, Ray Daniels Presents, I believe it's called, and he said definitively, okay, without a shadow of doubt, that Jay-Z had a new album coming out. Well, you need to block that somebody, Ray, okay? Because Roc Nation, who I work for, allegedly, replied to that commentary by posting in their story, album done, in air quotes, fake news, okay? There's a part of me that wishes Roc Nation didn't even do that. Because in a lot of ways, things like that are validation for the Ray Daniels of the world. And that's really why I'm doing this donkey this morning, to see Nobody cares about having a voice that has actual value. People only care about going viral by any means. Okay, I know Ray is loving this attention. Okay, this is what these guys do this for. They don't care about being right. They don't care about having credibility. They just care about attention. They just care about being acknowledged. But I'm here to tell you, that's not sustainable. Okay,
Charlamagne the God is my top 2 media personalities of all time. But I hate this so much, bro. Because Ray Daniels is such a good dude. Bro, Ray Daniels don't deserve this, man. Bro, you don't know if he's lying. Well, what if Rock Nation is captain? Right? So we just take, okay, so now the new metric is, if you have a source that report on something, and the person you are reporting on comes out and contradicts it, that means you're lying. So that person can't be lying, right? So if I report and says, hey, yo, my source tells me, yo, homie right there, he be whooping on his wife.
If you're learning Japanese from anime, good news. Hey Japan just launched a new anime course. You'll learn Japanese through iconic anime line.
I'm talking about Kiri Katamura. Kiri Katamura.
Violence charges in the past. And then he come out and said, nah, he lying. Nah, hell nah, he capping. That means I'm a liar.
I'm talking about Ren Kubayasa.
So whenever you report on someone, telling the truth or not, if that person comes out, they get the final say on rather, bro, people lie. People lie for less. Companies, infrastructures lie for less. So automatically go with Rock Nation is telling the truth, Ray Daniels is lying within 12 hours of seeing that Rock Nation post, to me is bias. And it's not okay, right? Because you play with people's livelihoods here, man. Ray Daniels has a podcast. His podcast is relying on credibility. You don't know if Ray Daniels is telling the truth. You don't know if Rock Nation is lying or not. You just running with what Rock Nation says because they said it. Man, that's not no proof. And to claim that Ray Daniels, who is a music executive, somebody who has signed one of the biggest artists in the world, to say that he is just making up things. He's just lying out the blue, out of nowhere, because he wants clout, he wants the attention. I think that's not fair, especially for someone with the credentials that Ray Daniels have. Again, I can understand if you're making this post about Joe Schmo with no connections to the industry whatsoever. Understood. But to call that man out publicly like that with no research, no confirmation, nothing whatsoever outside of Rock Nation said it, so it must be true, is bad and is not okay. Now, as Charlamagne the God continues to talk, he just gets more brutal, bro. He goes in on Ray Daniels. Now, Ray Daniels have not responded back to this yet, so I don't know what his response would be. But this is cold work, man, from Charlamagne. This is just cold work from Charlamagne, bro. Because he goes deeper. He goes beneath the surface, and he reveals a personal conversation that him and Ray Daniels had that was off the record. And he exposed that personal conversation to stick up for Jay-Z, which to me is kind of like, bro, you doing this, you lose a lot of trust in this industry, bro, because ain't nobody trying to have no conversation with you off the record if you go and bring it on air.
You know, Ray told me once himself. I only met Ray once in my life. I think I talked to him twice. Once on the phone, and I met him because he was at the Black Effect Podcast Festival earlier this year in Atlanta. And he said to me that he only started podcasting, and he only says the things that he says because he wants another job in the music industry. I don't even know what that means, okay? Because I thought he was in the music industry already. But he said to me, saying the things he says gets him attention from these music industry folks I guess he's trying to work with.
Listen, we gotta call a spade right now. I'll be real. I'm Ray. If that is true, Ray, hold on, man. Hold. I wanna preface my statements by saying this, okay? I've never met Ray Daniels, okay? Me and Ray Daniels are not buddy, okay? Ray Daniels, for the most part, he does good work. I respect his work. Hopefully he respects mine. I don't know Ray Daniels like that. But if Ray Daniels told Charlamagne the God this, then we got to take a step back in defending Ray Daniels, bro. If Ray told Charlamagne the God this, because that's not the idea I get from Ray Daniels. When I hear Ray Daniels speaking,
to be honest with you, my first time ever hearing about him yesterday with this whole Jigga thing, like, but you know, a lot of A&Rs, I don't say a lot, but some A&Rs, they, you know, they just A&Rs, you don't really know that they had something to do with bringing this artist on, putting this artist on, or getting artists signed and things of that nature. The Shakir, was Shakir Stewart? I didn't know nothing about that till years later, and they was saying that allegedly Diddy had something to do with the man death or whatever. So they say he committed S-side. We'll just say S-side.
like, that's not the character I retrieved from Ray Daniels. The character of who I think Ray Daniels is somebody who is serious about his business and who is knowledgeable. If Ray Daniels is telling Charlamagne to God this, that's crazy. Now, it was even more crazy. Conversation all with Jay-Z. And you only do this for Jay-Z, right? But you'll get away with this if you're telling the truth. Like, if Ray Daniels told you that, then you'll probably get away with this because you shouldn't be revealing and exposing personal conversation that was told.
Yeah, that's like, basically that's your bread and butter as far as when you on the list. That's what, you know, that's how it's been for years. They you know, yeah.
The confidant, right? You know, like, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of odd. All right. Now, Charlamagne the God didn't just stop here. All right. He really wanted to bury Ray Daniels' career within his 5 minutes of the day. Because he continued, right? He had more to say regarding Ray Daniels.
Well, Ray, when you get things so wrong consistently, all you do is show people exactly why you don't have a job in the music industry. Okay, you call yourself a cultural referee. Well, when a sports referee consistently makes incorrect calls, major professional leagues and amateur organizations use internal gradings to hold them accountable, and poor grades directly lower an official's ranking within their league. Oh, your ranking's pretty low right now, Ray. Okay, look, I don't know what grade is amongst people who don't know any. Okay, the regular everyday person who gets on YouTube and listens to you might swear by you because they don't know any better. But to someone like me, you get an F at your worst, a C plus at your best. Actually a C minus. A C minus at your best. Okay, because majority of the time I listen to you, I think to myself, is there anyone on planet Earth who knows less about what's going on in the music and podcasting business than Ray Daniels? Just okay, and I know you think I work for Rock Nation, okay, I've heard commentary on it, so you're gonna try to say Rock Nation paid me to say this, but this is just all my opinion.
Hold on, it just hit me.
Nursing feel like a nightmare? Get help 24/7.
Think you need to be a tech wizard to work in cybersecurity? You don't. At Miller Mott, our online cybersecurity.
It just hit me. This is the first time ever. I take that back. I don't think Charlamagne. Again, I still think Charlamagne the God is running narratives for Rock Nation because that's his job. You know, he's a part of Rock Nation, right? Of course. Like, that's like, for example, like, yo, Flacco, right? Somebody who works for me, you better put narratives out there on my behalf. But I think this thing with Ray Daniels is a little personal. I think the Ray Daniels and Charlamagne the God issue is personal. And the reason why I think it's personal is because of what he just said. And then
it's crazy, like he said, he only met him twice. So he only met the man twice, but people can hate from afar also. So I don't want to get too deep into, what they got going on, but it is what it is, man.
Hit me. Oh, no. Ray Daniels was the first person to reveal personal conversation that Charlamagne the God and him had. Ray Daniels told us that when he said something about Jay-Z and Rock Nation, Charlamagne the God called him to correct him. And he felt played looking back because Charlamagne the God never told him that he works for Rock Nation. So this is the clip that Charlamagne the God is talking about. And this is where I believe Charlamagne the God and Ray Daniels stopped being cool and stopped being friends. And this is why Charlamagne the God feels comfortable in revealing the personal conversation that him and Ray Daniels had, because Ray Daniels revealed the personal conversation that they had.
Charlamagne, Jay-Z, him being a part of the Wayno announcing that Charlamagne is really an investor in Jay-Z's casino. That's something to look at. That's something to pay attention to. I just want to say that.
You want to go ahead and get into it real quick?
Well, for me, Charlamagne called me a little while ago about something I said about it, right? We just talked, right? Like, I love Charlamagne. He's one of my idols. I tell him that. And he was like, kind of correct me about something I said about Jay. And I was like, cool. I just heard him. And he was like, I don't work with him, And I was like, and I believe him. I still believe him. I don't believe he works with him. But that is weird that y'all in business together on a casino and you don't say that. That's why. So that's to me, this is the first time where I'm like, Charlamagne, you tripping, bro. Like, you give it to everybody. It's time to give it to you now, bro. Like, how are you talking about this casino and now all of a sudden they saying you're an investor? He got to respond to that,
Yeah.
He has to, bro. In my opinion, it's like that's like a big deal right now.
Because he been getting on academics' head about, Drake and all them with Steak and all the things that they be doing, but
Bro, he made me look at my Drake, my Jay-Z take differently. Like, he made me look at my Jay-Z take differently. It's like, and by the way, I still believe that he's speaking from the heart. But when you speak from the heart, you still should give certain details. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm in the casino business. Just for the record, right? You have to throw it out there. But when you don't and someone does, it looks like you're hiding. Right. And Charlamagne is a nigga that digs for information. So why are you hiding that? That's the only thing I'm like, that's just something just to bring up.
Anybody?
You have to understand and be reminded of the climate at the time to fully understand why Charlamagne the God would despise and hate Ray Daniels for saying something that brief. The climate at the time was when Charlamagne the God and DJ Academics was battling for the narrative. Academics was anti-Rock Nation. Charlamagne the God was pro-Rock Nation. They was battling for the narrative. And that's the week that essentially when Wayno came and said, yo, Charlamagne the God, was working on a casino bid with Rock Nation, that gave Academics an edge, and people began to run with that, calling Charlamagne.
But see, that's not really, nobody really just didn't find that information out. That information was public information. The whole thing with Charlamagne had a bid in with Jay-Z with the casino that was supposed to be in Times Square. Yeah, that shit was public. That was public paperwork. Like, all you had to do was read the paperwork and you would have knew that Charlamagne, Leonard McCovey or something, Leonard McCovey.
It got biased. It felt like the narrative had completely ran away from Charlamagne the God. It felt like Academics was in charge, and that's before their debate. So when it felt like the narrative was completely gone and ran away, and Charlamagne the God was like behind the 8 ball, Ray Daniels saying this kind of helped to bury Charlamagne the God that week. So Charlamagne the God remembers, yo, when I was out here fighting for my life for the narrative, you was helping who Charlamagne believes is the ops to win the narrative war, all right? Even after the debate that Charlamagne the God had with Academics, Ray Daniels came on his podcast and essentially lended his help and his voice, right, to push DJ Academics' narrative against Charlamagne the God, and Charlamagne the God took this personally as well.
Man is my goat of media. And he always had 100%. After that interview, I gotta give him 98. And the only reason why is because, so when you've been doing media this long, you know what you want from it, right? Charlamagne was coming to discredit Act. He was coming to discredit Act, and the second thing he was trying to do was to get Act in the room with them folks. Like, and it was weird because I've always been like a Charlamagne fan, so watching how he would like kill people and hear him say he loves somebody was like interesting to me. Like, I love Dez. I've never met Dez. I don't know Dez. I've been in the music business. I don't know how long she's been in it, but when you're in the music business, there's certain people you get warned about. Like, don't play with them. I've never met Des, but I've never heard anybody speak positive about her. Like they liked her. It was always like, don't with her. She get busy. So to see Charlamagne on a huge interview like that saying, I love her, I love her, I love her. To me, it says, yeah, you with them for real. Like, and it's hard.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. No boys.
With them and be against them. That's why it's really hard to be their friend. Right. Because if you're their friend, you move the way they move and how they move. So when I watch the interview, I'm always trying to figure out what they wanted from it, right? And to me, Charlamagne wanted to discredit Ack. And Ack was trying Ack is like the kid in the room. So they want him to seem like he's paranoid. Like, what are you talking about? You think they're trying to get you? I think Ack understands because he carries the celebrity with him, right? So I think he kind of knows like, yo, people would really hurt me if I was in certain positions in certain worlds. So I think Ack understands like he's not favored like by society, right? You know, Charlamagne is kind of like Mr. Cognito and Dr. Evil, I don't know if I'm saying the names right, from X-Men.
X-Men, yeah.
So it's like they kind of like those two guys, where it's like he kind of mentored Professor X.
Professor X and Magneto.
Yeah. Like they feel like Professor X and Magneto. That's who Charlamagne, and that's so like they goats in media. So I'm watching it obviously for so many reasons, but Charlamagne gets 98% for me now because he is with them and he didn't say it and he found a way around it, so he addressed it.
So Charlamagne the God would explain. So not only do he believe that Ray Daniels kind of misspoke in his words, but he also believed that Ray Daniels intentionally did that, not just for entertainment, but he did that to intentionally discredit Charlamagne the God. Now, I don't know why Ray Daniels would be invested in trying to discredit Charlamagne.
So he could be discredited because if Jay-Z fuck around and drop an album, and then let's just say Jay-Z put the bitch out at Target first. You can only get the album at Target first, then it'll be on streaming services or just, he might pull a fast one. But if Jay-Z drop an album, this dude gonna look like Nostradamus, bro. He gonna look like he really know what the fuck he talking about.
Yeah, so I do think that's a tad bit off base. I think Ray Daniels was simply trying to do the best podcast he could do. Now, if that podcast came at Charlamagne the God's expense, it did, but I don't think Ray Daniels was doing this on purpose from my perspective.
Okay, here's a pro tip. All right, instead of saying matter-of-factly, Jay-Z album is done, how about say someone told you? Or you don't know if this is true or not, but this is what you heard, okay? If you carry it like that, then it really...
I mean, so I understand what Charlamagne's saying too. Like, he said, basically, the album done. Like, nigga, you heard all the songs on the album. So, I can understand that. So, Charlamagne to, like, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stop the cap.
No more.
And, like, basically, like, because in media, bro, it's best to say allegedly. Somebody told me, I heard, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. You gotta kind of, you know, watch how you word things in media because you want the credibility to last on your name as a actual journalist. Like, you know what I'm saying, a journalist.
Doesn't damage your reputation or credibility in this space, but when you say it the way you said it, as if you in the studio sitting next to Guru, okay, while the track list is being arranged, as if you're in the marketing meetings, listening to what the role.
Yeah, like, yeah, that, now I can understand where Charlamagne is coming from. I actually do. So he ain't bullshit. He's still at 100% on that right there as far as the little media shit, because that's how you supposed to move in media, bro. You gotta say allegedly. You gotta say, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know for sure yourself, you didn't see this shit happen, you gotta say allegedly. That's just how that shit gonna have to rock. You can't rock it no other way, bro. If you didn't see it personally, bro, you can't just say whatever the fuck you want to say in media and then you look at it as a joke, as a a voice in this space.
Well, our plan is okay. If you say it like that, if you say it like you 100% know what you're saying is the truth, that's when you lose credibility. Okay, you lose credibility as a media personality by breaking the trust your audience places in your accuracy, independence, and integrity. That's what y'all try to do to me when you say I work for Rock Nation. Okay, you want the audience to not trust my independence and integrity. But what about your integrity, Ray Daniels? For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain a few clicks, go viral a little bit, and lose his own soul? Okay, I know we in an era where people think all publicity is good publicity, but it's not. Okay, because negative attention can destroy consumer trust. All right, Ray, this might be some people's first time hearing about you. And now they know you as the guy who's loud and wrong. That can cause damage to your brand or reputation, and that can take years to fix. Okay, so if you're really the cultural referee, you won't get mad at any of this.
Oh yeah, hey look.
Just for any of this, you will.
Right after this, I gotta find a shit about Chud right quick though, cause we got a lot of good little videos coming after this. But I gotta
on your
find a shit
platform and
about
tell
Chud.
everybody you got it wrong. Okay, integrity is making sure that the things you say and the things you do are in alignment. Okay, integrity is telling the truth and fixing mistakes. Let's see how you call this on yourself.
I would be too harsh on Charlamagne the God because I feel like he's just saying this because again, Ray Daniels came at him first, so it's more personal. I still do think this is still a defense of Rock Nation. So the primary reason of this is to still defend Rock Nation and Jay-Z, but like 30% is, oh, this is personal, so I'm gonna rub it in a little bit more, all right? Now, after Charlamagne the God, you know who also stepped into this battle, right? Ebro and Rob Markman. Now, I like Rob Markman, I like Ebro, right? So it's not personal. Now, Ebro created an argument that didn't exist and then created the defense for that argument, right? So nobody, Ray Daniels said nothing about flopping. He said nothing about Drake at all. He just said Jay-Z wants to partner up with somebody so he don't sell 60,000 copies first week. Ebro created the argument that people was gonna be comparing Drake and Jay-Z's first week sales, and then went on to offer a defense for an argument only he created. So he could run PR for Rock Nation. This is like absurd, bro. Y'all gotta relax, man.
Playing us Drake up here talking about my pen ain't dry, and he was doing he did a 24-hour stream, and he's done tons of marketing, had great success on these, and I dropped 3 on my head top 5 and all of this. But he's had great success with the music, right? And I guess it should be noted that there's a back and forth between those two. Are we concerned that like the Drake stands are gonna attack Hov if it's like what is that concern about first week sales?
I don't know that Jay is concerned. I think once you get to that's gonna be a conversation for sure. Let's not skate past that. There are people who will clown whatever that number is. Let's go back though. First week sales aren't even sales. They're streams. I still don't know why we take what is streaming and do this equivalent thing. Call the thing a thing. It's just my opinion. So, but yeah, people will clown the numbers. Yeah, I think Jay's in a space where who cares? And Jay may do fantastic, amazing numbers, but who cares? Like I feel like at this point, either you have something to say musically, or you don't. Like, I don't know that he's putting albums out just to put them out there.
Well, we often have covered here, wrong chart, champ.
Right.
And so thinking about the metrics of things, how things are measured, right? Because, me, I'm a person, and I make this comparison all the time that, the best things aren't necessarily the things that sell the most. Using the McDonald's hamburger.
Nobody has yet to say that Jay-Z is gonna flop. DJ Academics haven't said it. Ray Daniels haven't said it. Nobody have yet to say Jay-Z is gonna flop. So to create this narrative that Jay-Z flopping is like this conversation that's like that's like so loud in the culture that you just have to.
And see, Jay-Z they got allegedly they got different ways they can run them numbers up, bro.
On Twitter, give your take, bro. You created the argument that Jay-Z is gonna flop and that it's Drake fans that are rooting for it, right? You know, as he would say in his video that that is Drake fans that are rooting for Jay-Z flopping, right? He says it during his podcast at some point.
Tells you what your case is worth right now, they're full of shit. The truth is, no one can honestly tell you that in the beginning. The system is rigged against.
Then he creates the defense. Nah, man, nobody cares about first week sales. Nah, man, like it don't matter when it comes to Jay. Nah, it don't, man. All right, man. All right. So to create the argument and then create the defense, and then essentially you're trying to get ahead of the narrative. I think they know something that we don't know. They know that the numbers for Jay is gonna look dark and grim. It sounds like they know something that we don't know. Because I don't think any one of us have ever asked about Jay-Z's sales, nor do I care about Jay-Z's first week sales, but it looks like they know something that we don't know, and they know these numbers are gonna look grim for Jay-Z. So now everybody is getting ahead of the narrative. Oh, Jay, man. Huh? Wasn't y'all doing predictions on y'all podcast what Drake is gonna sell first week? Wasn't y'all doing predictions on what is Drake gonna sell first week, and is she gonna, surpass 600,000 or 405? Huh? But now first week sales don't matter because they ain't sales. Hey man, y'all cold, man. When it comes to Jay, y'all cold, man. First week sales ain't sales. Oh listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I gotta salute Rob, man, because that's the first time I ever heard that, man. First week sales ain't cold. Nah, that's a cold line right there, man. That's cold. First week sales ain't sales. Because
they sell a lot of hamburgers.
Yeah.
And people like McDonald's hamburgers. Not saying people don't like them, but they would never be a conversation for best hamburger.
Right. At all. And when it goes to hip hop, I'm just a different type of fan. There's some fans who let the numbers and the metrics of things dictate their taste. Hey man, when Most Def and Quality came together and did Black Star, I ran out of cop that. I was a fan of that, man.
But nah, he kind of right though, as far as just because everybody that buy the shit don't mean that it's not a good album. That's the same thing Rick Ross going through right now. And then it flopped or whatever, but I haven't heard the album. I think I heard a little piece of it. I think he had a song with T.I. or something like that. I heard a little piece of that on the radio, but to be honest with you, man, just because everybody, because I don't know if y'all know, bro, Biggie, one of the second greatest rapper probably to ever pick up a mic. Biggie Smalls, his first album was out a year, and people, that shit ain't really started getting traction till a year afterwards. The whole country was on it. But when it first came out, nobody knew who the fuck Biggie was, bro. We knew who Pop was, and Pop was fucking with Big, so.
Man, when Killer Mike dropped that Michael album, that's a beautiful album. I was a fan of that. Dead Prez, Let's Get Free. Man, that album did a lot for me, and love that album. Classic to me. I couldn't tell you what those sold.
Right.
I couldn't tell you what any of those albums sold. I know the high regard that.
But even when we just celebrated Reasonable Doubt, I spent a lot of time up here talking about what that album didn't do when it came out and what it means now.
Right.
To just hip hop, full stop.
Right.
Right? It's a perfect example of cultural impact. Having something to say, right? Doing it all for the right reasons. And then 30 years later, looking back and seeing a stadium full of people singing word for word, right? Every record, and it defining an era or defining a time in hip hop. But it is tough to make those moments.
The audience is not going. They ain't going for this, man. Somebody says preemptively creating the imaginary argument in defense is crazy. See, I call it. Jay-Z himself cares about numbers more than everybody else, all right? And they show where Jay-Z is talking about numbers like things such as, I sold what your whole album sold in my first week.
So look,
I just got 10.
So look, I think Jay-Z said this on an album allegedly, or on a mixtape. They was I know this was saying period. men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So Jay-Z, old school, he probably on that type of, movement. Like men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Jay-Z trying to hit that big first day a million sold. Like ain't no artist did that in a minute.
Number one albums, maybe not.
Well, as far as the streaming shit goes.
We love it. 10 number one albums in a row. Who better than me? I came, I saw, I conquered, from record sales to sold-out concerts. To me, this is the only, there's no better argument than this. The people saying that Jay-Z first week sales don't matter, when Jay-Z himself is saying that's how he gets his validation. His validation comes from his numbers and his first week sales. It should stop here. Like, we know.
And buddy.
It comes from his greatness, and how he knows his great come from those first week sales, those numbers. So if Jay don't go number one and don't do well first week, well then that's a disappointment to Jay himself. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this, okay?
As far as they got some weird people representing them as far as everything goes with representation. Lawyers, I don't even know why they need lawyers if they didn't do anything, but yeah. But the lawyers they pick, well, allegedly the lawyer they pick is sketchy, allegedly. But check out.
Nolan Wells' friends are already regretting this second interview they did with Officer Tatum. Oh, no. These boys is regretting this interview because when the experts, the behavioral scientists, the journalists, when the experts got a hold of this interview, bro, they broke it down, they they unraveled this interview to the core.
Ex-Officer Tatum has once again returned to Mississippi to interview the young men that were with Nolan Wells on the day he went missing and then ultimately was found deceased. There's a lot in this interview that I want to get into and break.
On that phone call to the audio. It doesn't appear that the transcript was derived from an automated system or have any, in my opinion, real integrity with it. So what do you guys think about that audio?
From this very first question, I start wondering, is ex-Officer Tatum being paid by the companies that represent these young men or the young men's families themselves? Because that is a question that is very loaded and it's leading towards innocence. It lets the interviewees know that the interviewer has a bias, and thus it's more about getting out a narrative than of finding the truth.
But they keep going back to Officer Tatum. They keep going back to him. And this has been the issue that we have had from day one. Tatum and his defenders will say, why do you have a problem with him just seeking answers? He's not seeking answers if the questions he's asking is already tentative.
Yeah, it's already, like, he basically just giving the interview to them. He just want to interview them so they could look more innocent.
Believe you're innocent, prove these niggas wrong. Like, come on, man. What? Just, go stand with a neutral platform. Somebody.
I'm gonna ask you the hard questions. That he basically just playing with them, bro. These some little kids. Like he basically like he had a damn daycare or some bullshit. Like, bro, that's some bullshit you got going on, bro. Officer Tatum, I want to tell you from my own lips, you some bullshit.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
Yes, sir.
He's right,
Who don't think you're innocent or don't think you're guilty, who just want to look at the facts of the case, survive that interrogation, and then we can talk. But if the only interviews you've done is with Tatum, and Jay Marie already exposed that Tatum is linked to this person, that's linked to that person, that's linked to the turning point, linked to this person's parents, he's already, bruh. So this interview, like, I'll be real with y'all, y'all would have been better off just interviewing yourselves. Because Tatum being implemented in it, you lose all trust automatically.
Now, I want to be clear. I do not.
Damn, this is gonna be a good one, y'all. Y'all raise your rabbit ears. Listen to what's finna be said, y'all. Real spin.
Know what these boys did or did not do, but when you release videos like this, you open yourselves up to a certain level of scrutiny that was not there before. And that question doesn't sound like
because I'm like, y'all went on there in the first fucking place, bro. What was going on that shit? To do what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you congratulate, you played yourself when you went on that motherfucking interview, bro. You did,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
An unbiased answer. You ask the question in a biased way that makes the interviewees feel more comfortable.
Well, I can go ahead and say that as you posted that clip of all of us on the boat, you know, as it's rolling, not rolling, but right there sitting in the water. Wyatt's on the phone with Cito in that clip. Don't you, like, wouldn't you think that you would have seen on the bottom of on the floor of something, or scrambling around, or everybody in a pot, like in a small space? We have a dead body on the boat.
When you are professing your innocence and you are passionately talking about your alibis and talking about how you did not, that is not in and of itself proof of innocence, and said like they did not do anything. I think about Rafael Palmeiro, who was trials for baseball, holding up his finger and saying, I have never used steroids. Then it turns out he did test positive and negatively ruined his legacy. Also, Lance Armstrong, maybe the most of his own innocence, turns out he was actually cheating and lying the whole time.
The whole world's on fire. A private jet flies to Berlin.
Whole time.
Correct. They don't understand that no matter how much you tell us, it would take the investigation being concluded, it would take the grand jury, it would take a conclusion to this for people to say, okay, you're not gonna talk loud enough or make enough for us to get people to stop considering you a suspect. That's just not gonna happen. You are a suspect until further notice, bro. And that's just the way it's gonna be, right? Don Lemon told him, bro, you should be hiring like a crisis PR team, not a defamation attorney who can't really list the defamation that's been done upon you guys, right? Like, they brought this guy to sit in during the interview. As they're talking, the guy is like tapping his cap. I don't know the reason why a lawyer leader like tapping his cap suspiciously. Now, it could very well be, he's tapping the cap to kind of steer and direct them in an interview. But even that is like suspicious and quite odd. But saying people defamed you, but not really listing the actual defamation claims while asking people to apologize for the claims is absurd. It's absurd. It's not helping your case. Going after your case, isn't it?
Yeah, there was one video that just touched me, and I'm like, this shit. The mother was just so like, she just looked like she had a beautiful soul, and she was a good woman, bro. And she probably raised her son, and I know she loved him, and him passing like this, bro, like. And then her strength and the way she talks after, like, I don't even know, bro. Like, I probably wouldn't even be able to do what she's doing if one of my children passed away. I'm just saying, like she's still strong. She got to do what she got to do, and it's just, man.
You guys look even more like villains. A crisis PR team is what they need. Not a defamation attorney, not Trump's attorney.
In the internet, in the bowels of the internet. But when they were asked in the interview to give specifics, and we're going to play it for you in a minute,
specific examples of what had actually happened to them in public, the examples got a little fuzzy. Now, look, I don't know who's advising them. As I said yesterday, in my opinion.
And see, I just feel like y'all keep going fucking with that boy Tatum, and y'all gonna have some problems out here, bro. Some shit gonna fall on top of your head. You keep fucking with Tatum and shit, bro.
And my experience doing this, they're not getting good advice. Now, if they look, hey guys, it's easy. You can get to me. It's easy. My information is out there. You need a good crisis PR person. I can give you a handful, if not 10, of a good crisis PR person who will either tell you what to say and not to say, or just advise you most of the time to STFU. Because as many people as there are in the world, that's how many opinions there are. And you're gonna hear all of them on the
And you can't do anything about it. You literally can't. You can't, right? Your attorney, who's Trump's attorney, them sitting within that interview telling people, oh, it's gonna hurt. We're gonna get you and it's gonna hurt. You won't be able to do anything about it. Bro, that don't help your case. Bro, all that does is turn people off against you, man. Right? All that does is scream. You got Donald Trump's attorney. What type of regular kids is getting Donald Trump's attorney to represent them? They already think spoiled brats. Spoiled rich kids. They already think, okay, yeah, right? Like, like the rich and fortunate. To be able to pick up your phone and get Donald Trump's attorney to come and defend you during an interview. Come on, man. You're making yourself the villain. Just be quiet or go sit down with a neutral.
I already said this shit from the beginning, bro. They should have never went on that, bro. That shit was just stupid. We should have stayed the fuck away from that, because that's not it. That ain't what you want, big dog. That shit what Officer Tatum y'all did, bro, y'all fucked up everything. If you did do it and trying to get away with it, you fucked yourself up on that. So, hey, good riddance. The truth is gonna come out. It's gonna come out soon, y'all. It's coming out. The truth is gonna come out, and it's gonna be hell to pay for this one. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna be hell to pay for this one. Mark my word. It's gonna be hell to pay for this. I ain't lying.
At this point, just be quiet. Don't say nothing.
So these boys saying, like, don't you think that if we had done something, we wouldn't have done this? It just reeks of, like, not understanding that just because you are passionately trying to convince me of something does not mean that it's not true. And it's there's a lot more here we're gonna get into, but I just want to make sure that you highlight, like, the investigation needs to pull out real evidence of what happened or what didn't happen. And someone saying they didn't do it is not evidence of innocence.
I mean, why would we call the Coast Guard? Why would we do the things we did if we know we killed somebody?
So I might have to do a short on that tonight when I get off of here. Let me write that down. Short about the Coast Guard. He lied in the interview. Let me see. Warren motherfucker. Okay, let me see. Warren lied in the interview. Warren, hold on, let me see.
I think people, regardless of who it is going to believe what they want to hear. If they want to believe that my friends and I had something to do with Nolan dying, then they're going to believe that regardless of what you put out. but you put out, Brandon, that a clip of the boat when Wyatt was on the phone with Cito, and it is boldly clear that Nolan was not on the boat with us. You can literally almost see that.
Like, it's like he trying to prove so hard that they didn't have nothing to do with this death, and it's like, bro, you really just need to shut the fuck up, like, bro. STFU, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Out of the deck. And as you can see in that picture, everybody is completely casual while Wyatt's on the phone with Cito. Yeah, we were scrambling around trying to get.
So, was y'all cool or was y'all scrambling around?
The boat fixed, but the guys were, you know, in the video, you'd see me, I'm sitting on the bow. If there was someone dying on the boat, why would everybody just be sitting there waiting to either get towed in or in the first place, like Jack said, why would Wyatt call Cito? It's
maybe y'all already threw his body off the boat before you called Cito. Maybe. Because I don't know if y'all heard the videotape. I mean, not the videotape. I don't know if y'all heard the call, but when the lady was like, how many people are on the boat? You know what I'm saying? She asked them, was there any minor, like, I don't know, she said minors. I think she said minors or adults. She asked them that. She asked them something about how many people are on the boat. And it's like, bro, if you're on a boat, bro, like, I'm sure they ain't had no motherfucking yacht or nothing. They wasn't on no cruise ship, so. Let's just be real, bro. Let's just be real, dog. Like.
Crazy. The reason we turned down Coast Guard is, why would we call Coast Guard if Cito could pull us in? But we fixed the boat and we ran into Fort Bayou, and that's it. The Cito call was completely enhanced, and these people.
Bro, y'all gotta listen to the Cito call. It was enhanced. He's telling the truth about that. It was definitely enhanced. Salute to a black woman. You know, this thing here, bro, like, that Cito call kill your whole story. It kills the story, bro.
Want to believe what they want to hear, and that's what they're doing. So,
if I were doing this interview, here's a question I would ask: who was recording your vote? Why were they recording your vote at that exact moment? Because it could be a suspicious activity, like you guys are trying to
establish. Yeah, come on, bro. Yeah, bro, all this shit making sense now, bro. It's making sense, bro. Like you said, well, we showed Officer Tatum the what they call it? He said we showed Officer Tatum video of us in the boat when we was making the Cito call. Like, who does that? Did y'all have Nolan behind the camera? Or you already threw him off the boat?
It was an alibi. And lastly, couldn't Nolan have been on that boat? That question was not asked, so we do not know what these young men, how they would have explained that away.
At some point, they have to realize that sitting down with Officer Tatum is doing more harm than good. You see how that brother right there was able to just hear what they said and just formulate doubts and holes in like whatever they said like that fast? That's what a seasoned interviewer is supposed to do.
And I don't know if he's I'm pretty sure he's media personality, because the young black man, I don't know what his name is, but he tore holes in that shit real quick. Like, that was super quick. Like, damn. And then I told more holes in it, because he said he called the Coast Guard. Nigga, he ain't called no motherfucking Coast Guard. The lady asked you, she said, hey, do you need a Coast Guard? He said, no. We heard the tape, bro. Go listen to the Cito call.
A seasoned interviewer is supposed to conduct an interview where when you leave the interview, you're not left with anything else. Y'all sit down for 3 hours. discuss everything, ask every question, ask every rebuttal, ask every devil's advocate. Have them sit through everything. And afterwards, there's really no question left to ask. There's really no other alternative left to explore. The internet at that point will have to determine, okay, do we believe them or do we not believe them? And then wait for the investigation. But every time you pop up on something new, they threatened to take our life like at the restaurant. And then the homie next to you say, I didn't hear them threatening to take our life. I just heard one guy tell us it's probably best that we leave because these other people, might be on some nonsense. Right? But this brother right here is really articulating the reason why they needed to sit down with somebody thorough. Because a season, for example, Nancy Grace. I'm sure Nancy Grace will give these kids a fair interview.
Yeah, she's gonna give them a fair interview. She's gonna get in their ass though. Nancy Grace gonna get in that ass. She don't give a fuck. Nancy Grace gonna get you all the way together. She gonna ask all the questions, the hard questions. She don't pull no punches.
If they wanted it, I'm sure, right? Like she'll ask the tough questions, right? Like she'll come across as tough, but she'll ask the right questions, and she'll have rebuttals, and she'll concede on certain things. And if they are truly innocent, if they truly did nothing wrong, it shouldn't even matter who they sit down with. They should feel comfortable walking in with Trump's power house attorney to them. They should feel comfortable walking into any environment. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. I'm here. What's up? What's up with Damon Bart? Why was they saying, oh my God, he's dead? Who was you talking about?
Socials, because there's big news in the sports world. No, it's not a blockbuster trade or a big name free agent.
But when Tatum strategically avoids certain questions or certain fragments or avoid certain things that make them look terrible, we don't have to wonder why are they avoiding certain questions. Go sit down with somebody thorough.
It's just crazy to me that people have tried to twist this and twist the audio. When we came out with the first interview and debunked half these lies, now you don't hear about any of it. You don't hear about the pool party because it was on June 27th. You don't hear about anything else that was mentioned. Thousands of lies. And now, the audio comes back, and all of a sudden we can hear Nolan yelling in the background, screaming. We're screaming about how he's dead. That's just a complete lie, and it's another.
No, he said he fucked up right there too. We're gonna run that back. We gotta run that back. Got to run that back. He said, somebody in the video we can hear. Hold on, we gotta run that shit back. We gotta run that back. Hold on. Okay.
And now, the audio comes back, and all of a sudden we can hear Nolan yelling in the background, screaming. We're screaming about how he's dead. That's just a complete lie.
Nolan is in the background screaming. Oh no, we're screaming that he's dead. So
and it's another lie to push this narrative that people don't want to turn.
Was Nolan in the background screaming? We just didn't know that he was screaming. Like. But this shit right here is, man, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Yeah, this ain't cool, bro. This ain't cool right here at all. This is, and like I said, I got a daughter. My daughter about to be 21, man. I got a daughter younger than this young man. I can only imagine, bro. Like, come on, dog.
Wow, it's insane to me.
What's interesting to me here is that they're turning this case into a defamation case about the public having their own theories, hypotheses, and ideas about what might have happened on that day to Nolan Wells. And they're turning it to that and away from the actual investigation of what might have happened to their friend and brother, as they refer to him. And that seems very odd to me. If you really cared about him, you really loved him, you really considered him like a brother, you'd be far more interested in the truth than caring so much about what the public thinks about what you may or may not have done. But that clearly isn't the case here. Like, they are very interested in what the public thinks of what they did or didn't do. And so much so that they're turning this into a case about their own perceptions and how people are perceiving them, and away from the actual investigation to what may have happened to Nolan Wells on that day.
First of all, with respect to Warren, if you just murdered your best friend on an island, the dumbest thing you could do would be to call the Coast Guard. To call a federal law enforcement agency and tell them, hey, can you guys go out and check out this island and look for Nolan Wells? Well, that's what Warren did. Warren called the Coast Guard.
Hold
on. The best friend on an island.
Hold on.
And so much so that they're turning this.
So look, we're gonna run that. We gotta run that back too. Hold on. Listen now. Hold on.
Into a case about their own perceptions and how people are perceiving them, and away from the actual investigation to what may have happened to Nolan Wells on that day.
First of all, with respect to Warren, if you just murdered your best friend on an island, the dumbest thing you could do would be to call the Coast Guard.
He didn't call the Coast Guard. I'm not to say this like, okay, this 118. Yeah, he didn't call the Coast Guard. Y'all gotta go listen to the Cito call. Cito call, it shows he was talking to the lady. They wanted them to do whatever with the boat. Then some shit happened with the granddaddy, his grandpops. And then nothing ever happened with anything. But as far as he called the Coast Guard, he did not call the Coast Guard, bro.
To call a federal law enforcement agency and tell them, hey, can you guys go out and check out this
allegedly
island and look for Nolan Wells? Well, that's exactly what Warren did. Warren called the Coast Guard. And that is one of many very compelling.
He called Cito. See? He called Cito. He didn't call, he called Cito. He didn't call the Coast Guard. Because the lady on Cito, she said, she asked him on the call, she said, do you need the Coast Guard? He said, he hurried up. He said, no, we don't need the Coast Guard.
Facts. He got back.
These are facts. These are
Does that
facts.
sound like a guilty man to you?
That's more what I was talking about before. Simply saying, if I were guilty, would I have done this? Is not in and of itself proof of innocence. As Lance Armstrong also said, like he said many, many times. If I were guilty, would I have allowed myself to have been tested this many times? Would I be the single most tested athlete on the planet? If I were actually guilty of anything, would I have done this, this, and this?
Also, by the way, when he says, if they just killed their friend, the single-handedly, all right, dumbest thing to do would be to call the Coast Guard. Well, when they asked him, hey, do you want the Coast Guard to come out? They said no. So
Come on, dog. Hey, he called it. He called it because I've been knew about that shit. I've been knew about that. I listened to this call like damn near at least 30 times, bro. If maybe more. But I know for sure we got to give him he's right to know on that one because, you know, I'm glad he called that out, bro. Glad he called that out. Damn, I'm glad he called that one.
He's right to know.
So basically, that's some bullshit y'all talking about over there. Like,
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
When they asked him, do you want the Coast Guard to come out? They said, no, we don't. No, don't send the Coast Guard out. So you answer your own question. This is what y'all just gotta be quiet, bro. Okay? Now,
I said that shit from the beginning. I said that from the beginning, bro. Just shut the fuck up, bro. Don't say nothing else, bro. Just be quiet, bro. Shut the fuck up, dog. Just be quiet, bro. At this point.
come out was because they already had like, you know, they were already being told, or they fixed their problem already, right? Like they fixed the boat up already. But then why would he say, hey, if you murder your friend, the dumbest thing you will want to do will be to call the Coast Guard? Well, they did. They said the Coast Guard shouldn't come out in that call specifically, and y'all heard it. So, you know, I don't know if that was like a Freudian slip, right? Like, I don't know. Hey, listen, man, I ain't trying to get sued. I don't know if that was like the conscious slip, and I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. And Don Lemon even touched on like how ridiculous this interview was as well, bro. Like how, you know, they went ahead through every stop to present themselves as victims, but when they were asked, to provide examples on how they were victims, on how they were being harassed, they couldn't provide anything, like at all.
Did you know that you can get your pet for free? With Mister, you can get your pet prescribed to you online and delivered right to your door for free. Whether you have insurance.
And there's just like one incident that we covered in our last video, like, and on this, where it was three of them. They all talked about the same incident, right? They all talked about the same incident, but they had different versions of the same incident. One person said, they told us they was gonna take our life. The other person says, I never heard that. The other person says, no, somebody else told us we gotta leave because they was gonna get, well, somebody else was gonna get us. If they have different stories about the same incident they just experienced, apparently like within the last like couple weeks, then what makes us think that their memory is correct when they can't even get like a recent event correct? They can't even be on the same page with
basically, all this, we talking in circles. They lied. The major lie that this exposed everything was you got on Officer Tatum's show. You said that, you know, you called the Coast Guards. You didn't call the Coast Guards, sir. You called Cito. When Cito asked you, do you want us to call the Coast Guard? You said no. So that's on you, bro.
It's an event they all apparently experienced together.
And then also describing being recognized in public and people asking you about something you said or did or appeared in is not harassment. That's called the First Amendment. That people are able to say, hey, aren't you the guy on the thing? And didn't you say this? You have every right to walk away and say, I'm not, thank you, nice to meet you, I'm not interested in that, and keep going. Now, if they get in your face and start pushing a phone and a camera in your face and all that, that's a whole different thing. Invading your personal space, that's a whole different thing. But someone saying, hey, young man, aren't you the guy that why would you say something like that? You don't have to participate in that. You can just say, I'm not interested. Or you don't have to say anything, you just walk away. One of them described a woman recognizing him in a restaurant and showing him the earlier interview on her phone, one of his earlier interviews. They left, and then according to them, some friends who stayed behind were allegedly threatened, okay? Some friends who stayed behind were allegedly threatened. So, but we were specifically asking about the people in the interview who said that they had been harassed. Another example involved a friend named Trayston, supposedly being denied a Gatorade and a Red Bull at a store. Now, Trayston is one of their African-American friends, and they're describing his experience with allegedly being harassed or whatever the interaction was. That may be harassment of their friends. It may be ugly behavior, but it is not the same thing as the three men sitting there describing repeated direct attacks against themselves. And when the interviewer kept asking for concrete examples, I kept waiting for one involving them directly. Now, that does not mean that threats have not happened, but they're in an interview and they're answering questions. They also said that they have received death threats online. Awful. And I don't doubt that they have. I don't know. It means that when they were asked for specific in-person examples involving themselves, much of what they described involved other people around them. That distinction really matters, especially because they have hired a defamation lawyer.
If they're saying harassment, trauma, is a part of why they're suing, defamation, you have to prove certain things, right? How did this affect your life, right? If they're saying we're being harassed, and the harassment that they quote unquote have is with their other friends, who, by the way, conveniently was not at the interview, all right? They list out a myriad of harassment claims, but the people who received the bulk or the worst of it conveniently was not present at the interview. If you're coming to do an interview to address the public, to address people, right? Wouldn't it be wise to bring the people that you claim are firsthand witnesses of the harassment and the threats, the people who you say they looked them in their eyes and told them, we are going to take your life? Shouldn't you bring those people so they can explain it? And even if they do somehow bring those people probably got a claim for something. It probably won't be defamation because nobody knows their names, according to these kids. That these people are unknown, they were just with them, they left, but somehow those people stayed even though they left, and those people got harassed. Like this whole story is just convoluted and absurd, man. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. But if you're claiming defamation, you should probably list how you have been impacted, pain and suffering that you suffered, as well as, the instances of defamation. The lawyer would not name an instance of defamation, a claim of defamation. He wouldn't list nothing at all. And if you're putting out a public challenge for people to apologize, then put out statements that you feel like they should apologize for. Say, hey, we've seen a couple of podcasters, they said this, they said this, they said this, they said this.
But the real thing is, everybody, we just calling out what the fuck happened. That's all it was, bro. Ain't all that extra shit y'all got going on. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing like that. We just called out what the fuck was going on, and hey, you got caught up in it. Damn, I might stay on here. I might stay on here with y'all. I'm about to see if I could, I got a new speaker I'm finna get, and that shit got like a little screen and shit. But yeah, bro, I'm about to get a new speaker. It'll be here next week, Thursday night, y'all. It will be. So I'm gonna take this speaker, I'm gonna go up with it, and then we'll have boom, boom, too. And then I got one back there, so. I got speakers over there too. I got a whole bunch of shit over here, bro. Like, I've been doing this shit, man.
Because I'm sure if there's one narrative or one agenda, it's probably shared by a couple different platforms. Hey, there are a few people who've been saying this. A few people have been saying, damn it, Bart was said. Damn it, Bart was never said. You guys. Now, that would be absurd because Damon Bart was 100% set, but that would be something you could push on, but they didn't list anything, right?
The world doesn't need more thought leaders. It needs more thoughtful leaders. The kind you'll find in Baylor's.
Now, the therapist will further explain some more unusual behaviors from them.
Again, I'm not saying that these young men did anything. What I am saying is simply stating you didn't do it and saying it would have been really stupid of me to do ... if I had done anything is not evidence of innocence. We know that criminals often do really stupid things and get caught from doing the really stupid things that they do. So this just seems odd to me.
All right, now these are all American young men, incredible young men.
Referring to them as all American young men is an interesting phrasing as he's talking about his friends and harkens back to like the white good young man who couldn't have done this. That's intentional.
And they did a lot more than just that. I won't go through all of it now, but they did a lot of heroic things after the fact, and they did the best they could. And they tried for their dear friend. All of their actions are the actions of innocent men, not guilty men. And again, they're categorically, completely, and totally innocent.
I saw another clip where one of the young men referred to Nolan's mom as Miss Wells, which again I find odd because you're supposed to be his like friend and brother, and you would know that she went by either Wansley as her last name or Wells Wansley. When I think back to my childhood, I can't remember a single time mispronouncing my best friend's parents' names. I mean, it's just these are unusual things. Now look, I don't know what these boys did or didn't do, and I don't know what they know or don't know. It could be just as likely that they saw something they're not saying that they saw. It could be like they know what happened to them, even if they didn't do it. They just saw the circumstance that led to it. Maybe they know nothing and are completely innocent. I don't know. But when you make videos like this, you increase scrutiny. You increase the scrutiny on this situation.
And the only...
Hey, man. Hey, we just got to react to Poetic Flacco, man.
Stop killing your eyes watching movies or playing games on that tiny phone screen. Open this app and turn your phone into a 100-inch projector in just 3 seconds.
And we back, y'all. They say Chris Brown just snapped on his prison homie, man. Let's see what's going on.
On your screen is a prison letter while Chris Brown was...
Hey, y'all reacting to hip hop.
Serving in the UK, he had sent this to an inmate, thanking him for his support while he was locked up. But the man who wrote his letter to Dave is not happy.
Money, I don't want money, I don't want a penny. I've got my own money, I've got my own life, and I've got my own stuff going on. Just a bit of loyalty, like the stuff I make.
I thought I had seen it all until I see Chris Brown snapping on a UK prisoner for saying despite him having that song, these hoes ain't loyal, he ain't loyal, and he was exposing voice notes from Chris Brown in jail. So briefly, to catch up and have context around the story, a few years back, Chris Brown was in a nightclub in London. He gets into a fight in the club, someone gets hit with a bottle, him and the security guard are involved, and he has a pending case attached to his name.
And Chris Brown pled guilty to hitting dude in the head or whatever with the bottom. Hey, man. Y'all gotta stop playing with Chris Brown, man. You know, Chris Breezy. You know what I'm saying? Big blood in the building, you feel me?
He doesn't know he comes back here for his tour. He's arrested. He spent a brief time behind bars before putting up essentially a bond. It's different in the UK, but just so he can continue his tour while he's on bail. Obviously, this guy is a multi-millionaire, so the police wanted to make sure he wasn't going to evade justice. He was ordered to pay £5 million as a security fee, which is even more in dollars, around 7 million or so, and that was part of his bail conditions, which allowed him to carry on his tour and surrender his passport on arrival to each country. He only spent around 6 days in the UK jail when he was sorting out the paperwork to his bail. Anyway, during his time in prison, he developed a friend that he wrote letters to, and they formed a relationship. But just recently, this guy just went on a tangent and called him out.
It's just about this Chris Brown stuff, innit? What I did for him in jail, like there was an assault in jail, people wanted to spit in the food, people wanted wanted to fucking do all sorts. I stopped them all, looked after them. People wanted to record them. I stopped them all, took all the recordings, took all the.
Man, who you think you is? Like, brother, who you supposed to be? That dude wants to spit in this field and do this and do that. Hey, man, Chris Brown, one of the biggest bloods running around here, man. Who you supposed to be?
When I was talking to Chris Brown every day, took them all off the phones, sent them all to myself, fucking done them in, looked after them, give them USB sticks, bought them weed, bought them fucking Cali vapes, give them phones every day for use, made the jail easier that they could ever have it. And then they said, oh, well, when you get out, we'll go for food. It's not about money. I'm not interested in the money. I don't ask about it. I'm more bothered about loyalty. They said, we'll go for food. We'll meet up. You can come over to America. We'll spend a bit of time. We'll go.
But Chris Brown don't owe you no loyalty. You was doing everything that you was doing because Chris Brown is a star. The man don't owe you nothing. And if he did tell you he was gonna give you
that's
something,
true. That's true.
What you gonna do about it? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they got bloods over there in the UK. I know of bloods over there in the UK. Hey, man, this man better be cool.
The gym. Since I come out, it was a joke. They've done nothing. In fact, they're like blanking me. They message me back every now and again, saying, "Oh, we'll let you know. We'll let you." I said, "Like, when can I come to America?" "Oh, we'll let you know. We'll let you know." And then just blank me for weeks. It's like they're fobbing me off. And then I drove 4 hours to meet Chris Brown when he come over because he said, "Come to London to meet him." And then when I got there, did an 8-hour trip. He said, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. I can't come and meet you." And you know what I mean? It's like I thought
it's just a massive fan base over.
Music you've got, I want to do you.
Travels down to a hotel. Another person that Chris Brown was locked part of his entourage, Hoodie Baby, and he did actually meet this guy. So there was some loyalty there at the hotel. He showed off on his own Instagram that he said doesn't need all these rooms. They took care of it. And Instagram picture, which I can't find his IG, but he was backstage at some sort of show to do with Chris Brown.
I like, you've got not one bit of loyalty in your bones. After everything I did for you inside, and then what I went through after they left. When they left, I got put on closed visits for 5 months because the escort said I was putting stuff under the door and they said it was weed and phones, and I lost all my like important jobs, like all my trusted jobs. Said that I weren't trusted no more. I got put on basic for 8 months. They wouldn't take me off. I had to see my kids behind glass. I got treated horrible for a year after that. Like, kicked off all the wings, couldn't settle. I went through hell. I had no TV on basics.
Nigga sound like you got a lot of personal problems. That's personal, Nick. Too involved in all this stuff ain't got nothing to do with Chris Brown. Talking about what you got going on, man. You should have been in there kissing up to a star that you ain't never met before.
Sat in a pad for 23 hours a day. I thought, I'm going through all this, but it's cool, the loyal people, they'll be there for me when I get out. And I've been out 3 months now, and they've not even, like, they've reached out to me a couple of times, his manager, and they just said, we'll come to London and all that, and then they just basically chatting a load of bollocks. So I'm outing them. I want to out them, all of them. Chris Brown, Hoodie, a lot of them.
He said he was going to out him, and he actually did show proof, to be fair, a recording of him speaking to Chris Brown, asking if he is good and straight. This is an actual recording of Chris Brown when he was in UK prison.
Which he knows about, and I'll attach the letter with me saying, sorry, I got you banged up.
Yes, Chris, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I got the thing I forwarded you yesterday, the phone. There's a message on it for you. To use.
You committing all these illegal acts while y'all locked up. You definitely got the man one time, nigga. What was you thinking? You weren't trying to think about you or if you running around doing all this stuff you ain't got no business doing, trying to prove something to him. But you ain't grow up with Chris Brown, you went on from a can of paint.
Yeah, I'll throw it back under in a minute. Is everything else good? Have you got everything you need?
People under the comments didn't care about it. They said Chris was in there for 5 days. He's making out he spent a decade looking out for it. And someone else said all that recording did was prove what a giant super fan he is. Chris did actually acknowledge through another note that he left the guy may have got in some obviously. Anyway, Chris Brown's an A-list superstar celebrity. He's not going to respond to this guy. He doesn't care about the situation. He's not dealing with this now. He's not in a UK prison to fight back against him. Or you'd be wrong. He absolutely crashed out and did respond on this guy. Chris Brown has done prison in America before. He has that ghetto side, and he went off on him numerous times.
And thank you to the jail. Y'all was really nice. Y'all was really nice. So, shouts out. Of course, back. I wish I could do this forever.
So Chris Brown sent the guy a not so nice message straight to his DMs. You are a B word, clout chasing ass white boy, and you ain't protect shit in jail. I would have beat any N up on that block, including you. You want a handout and complain on social media like an effing female. Big men don't move like that, and I didn't have to give your ugly meathead ass girlfriend tickets to my show. So you doing all this internet shit ain't finna make you famous. F off.
And then see you talking about loyalty and all that, Breezy. You know he kept worrying, he gave your girl some tickets to the show. Then what you complaining about, nigga? You know how much them Chris Brown and Usher tickets cost, nigga? You should have been doing more. Should have been doing better. At least he let your bro come to the show. I mean, man, what else you want him to do? Nigga don't owe you.
Is 24/7 emergency and specialty veterinary care for the curveballs you don't see coming. Because life happens, and when it's serious.
Man, what else you want him to do? Nigga don't owe you.
Somewhere before you run into some real issues effing with me. He commented under everything I made about him with different gifts. And yes, Chris Brown did actually comment numerous times on all these stuff. Why won't you even say hello after an 8-hour drive? Don't think you know what loyalty is. Think I'm some sort of fan or some sort of mark. And everything around the UK case that he caught was just so bizarre because he hits a man over the head with a bottle. The man takes him to court in the UK, gets arrested there. That is one thing, but he also sues him in America.
Smacking Buddy in the head with a Don Julio bottle. Then admitting that you did it is crazy though. Now I don't know what Chris Brown was thinking about right there. Now somebody else got to take that charge.
For £12 million or $16 million in damages. No one's ever heard of him. He's a music producer that no one's ever heard of, and he claimed he was going to go on to make millions. And they settled, I believe, outside of court. We don't know the amount.
Yeah, when I was in jail and I looked after him, and I gave him weed, phones, and only me could associate with him, and I made the jail easy. There was talk.
And now you snitching. I give him food, give him weed. Come on, you a rat. You telling. What you telling for? Why you telling? You a snitch. Come on, bro.
To me every day they was promising me day start, they're gonna take me in America, help me on the right path, go to the gym, we may go for food. When I went to London, they took their piss. Wait till you hear the stories what happened in London. And then since I've been out, they were messaging saying, at first saying, even when I was in jail, they were messaging someone on my behalf, promising me the world. But now because they're high-profile celebrities, it's like the manager or someone's told them to distance herself from it because obviously the person, because I'm not like the person I am out here, and they're saying, I'm good enough for him in jail, helping him out, getting put on closed visits, getting put down the block for giving him weed and looking after him. But now I'm out, it's like they're too good for me. But we'll see, because all the recordings, what I took off people, I kept. So wait until you hear this story, what happened in London and what happened now.
Chris Brown has actually been to jail in America. He's not new to it. He's not new to getting love.
Like, usually they call your name, like, oh, get ready, pack it up, boom, boom, boom. They'll play Loyal over the speakers, blasting that shit. And I just put Loyal out. Loyal went #1 while I was sitting in jail. Oh, God. So that was like, me thinking I'm gonna hang some shit up. And I was like, oh, all right, I got y'all. All right, for sure.
And you in jail a lot of times, too. A lot of times, too, when you're at your lowest point.
The wildest thing is Chris Brown is actually pleaded guilty to offences in the UK that is punishable for him to go back to prison. So he could go back there, but this guy's obviously out now anyway.
Let me get one thing clear with this Chris Brown stuff. Clear to people. I'm after money. I've got my own life and I've got my own stuff going on. Just a bit.
You got your own life, then why you talking about him? It's an even swap, bro. You made sure he was good in jail. He made sure your bop got to come to the show. You feel me?
Bop it!
What is the problem? What is the issue? I don't understand what the problem is, sir. Go live your life, bro. Go do something else. You know what I'm saying? Now, Chris Brown might end up spending some time back out there. What you gonna do? Get locked up again and rumble with him in the jail or something? I don't know.
Bit of loyalty, like the stuff I went to, 4 closed visits, nearly 5 month closed visits seeing the kids behind glass, fucking on base. I met some good loyal people who were loyal. Like they treat me like I'm a fan or something, like palming me off, like I'm bringing a message.
You was treating him like he was a superstar. How you thought you was gonna get treated?
Blanking me. Now I'm outside. Like they said, oh, we'll go for a meal. We'll go for
sit down and eat with you for what? Y'all ain't have enough jail meals together. Why would he sit down and eat with you?
Gym, have a bit of food. Like they could have like even let me come over to America to like come to some of the shows or even spent a bit of time with me. They spent time with me when I was in jail, chatting to me every day while I was sorting them.
Hey,
let's spend time with you.
Like they're not asked about me, like they don't give a fuck.
Nah, he don't.
Money. It's about loyalty. If you don't know what loyalty means, then you won't.
The wildest thing about this entire story is Chris Brown could be going back there because he pleaded guilty to charges in the UK. Seven News, the 37-year-old star had been due to face a trial on more serious charges, which he denied: assault attempting to cause grievous body harm and have a defensive weapon, namely a tequila bottle. However, those charges are now being dropped. Affray, which is defined as using or threatening violence towards someone and making them fear for their safety, is punishable by up to 3 years in jail, and Brown will be sentenced in October. The police said it's been a long investigation. We've worked hard with police colleagues in the UK to bring the two men to justice. This is Chris Brown, his colleague as well, and I highly doubt they are going to go back to jail, but if they do, they'll have some animosity. Chris Brown said he would have beat up anyone in that prison. The judges set bail conditions that allow Brown to leave the UK, but he must return October 25, and that's when we'll find out his sentencing. When doing research for the case around Chris Brown, I actually can't believe at one point with the UK, they banned Chris Brown from coming here because of the high profile case around Chris Brown. They wanted to make an example out of it of domestic violence and abuse against women. At one point, he had to fight to even get to come to this country, and now he caught a case here for fighting. But I do believe it is highly unlikely this guy will go to prison for Affray on his first offence. He's not even from it. Of course, if he does, he's not new to jail. Chris Brown has previously served around 131 days in Los Angeles. That was back in 2014 after admitting to a probation violation stemming from an earlier assault charge. So he's done time in prison before, but again, I don't think it's going to happen.
Prosecutors accused him of hitting a music producer in the head with a tequila bottle. Sentencing will be October 26th, and Chris faces a maximum of 3 years behind bars.
Given someone with a history like Chris Brown, some judges want to send a message that violence will not be tolerated, but it's also entirely possible the judge just said, let's get...
Chris Brown ain't finna do all that, man. Him and Usher got business to take care of. You know what I'm saying? He one of the biggest bloods popping out here. You feel me? Like, I ain't finna do. Problem is, he gave your bop some tickets to the show. Didn't like the feedback. Oh, baby, she had some extra activities going on. I don't know, man, but at the end of the day, man, Chris Brown not worried about doing it. Y'all check out the playlist, man. I'm out.
Never rush to sue the other driver after a car accident. There may be a much smarter way to get paid a much larger settlement without going to court or paying huge legal fees up front. If you've been in a car accident within the past...
It's McDonald, man. Someone just got shot in McDonald. They putting us out. They putting everybody out.
Get what they want in the drive-thru. I mean, how many times we go to the drive-thru? I come through the drive-thru, we come in there with the gun.
So, with the homicide unit, unfortunately today that girl deceased at the hospital. That's the unfortunate part. You got the fact that you want to see the lawyer, but of course, when you're
An argument over food at an Atlanta McDonald's led to a scuffle between customers, and suddenly a shot rang out beside the restaurant. A mother of 4 was rushed to a trauma center, but didn't survive. We pulled together police body cam videos from that chaotic scene, the frantic 911 calls, and the footage of what the killer had to say for herself. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
One of the leading motives in our homicides is escalating disputes. So something that should just be a simple argument, it turns physical, and then people are so quick to resort to gun violence.
Tanaya Evans was just 19 years old when she was hauled into Atlanta PD's headquarters just after Christmas in 2023. Missing burgers and escalated into gunfire. Another customer made a frantic call to 911.
I'm for the ambulance. Where's the daughter? Hey, sir, what does it do? It's me. Okay, what shot? Was it a male or female? It's a female. Come on, please. Let me tell it. Where's she shot at? What part of the body?
A little hard to understand the caller sometimes, but he tries to explain why.
Oh, well, some of the kids, somebody, they came in that door, they started arguing with the supervisor, the manager, and everything. And then he told them to leave out the store. Grade coming out. They got grade.
The victim was 30-year-old Tamanika Woods. She'd been at the McDonald's with her 4 children, talking about ages from toddlers to teens. You know what happened? You know what she did? She reportedly just stood up for the cashier who was being berated by the women who were missing parts of their order. So you have words that were exchanged, there was some pushing and shoving, and then McDonald's surveillance shows Tanaya pulling out a pistol and shooting Tamanika in the chest.
If I told you that the moment your book is published, there could be a giant billboard featuring you and your book in Times Square. And in addition, a video trailer that tells your book's story, a paid advertising campaign to promote your book on social media, a professional press release announcing the publication of your book, and a dedicated campaign.
They putting us out. They putting everybody out. They saying the physical crime.
As more than a dozen Atlanta police officers started arriving at the scene, this is when things were very chaotic.
Get that baby out, please. I got you, but you can't have a baby watching you. Get everybody out. Come on, let's find a seat, please. Can I get everybody to stand out for me, please? Stand outside for me. So you with her? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. If you don't mind staying right here for me, we're going to come talk to you. Man, I stand in front for me. Nice. It's fire 14, it's 26. Not alert, no questions, not breathing. CPR progress.
There's this man who did CPR on Tamanika, later told officers that he just arrived at the restaurant to pick up his food when he saw her lying on the floor, tried to help. Outside officers, they're trying to get a straight answer on what happened here, but I will tell you, the emotions are running high.
She started packing. Oh, I could call somebody up here. Oh, y'all come in here with my side. I shoot all y'all. Ooh, but if I tell y'all know we little kids, so what you talking about getting done for? But it's cool, so we got one of them too. You saying all that? You get in my face, you doing my face like you doing me like this in my face. They keep pointing my face, stop pointing back in your face like, stop pointing my face. So she did my face like this. She wished my face back. My face went back and I started fighting her. And my foot stopped her.
You are saying you're not really. You're not really. Is your car unlocked? Is that yours? It's unlocked. Alright. Everybody always in the car. Alright, she is detained, she is not free to go. Get back. Get back. Stop. Stop.
Okay, so it was an argument, but the lady jumped in it. The lady jumped in it or whatever. It was a back and forth. The lady jumped in it, she called somebody to bring her gun in there, because she gonna pop all for them. So that's tonight, like, no, nobody's not gonna pop who, nobody's not popping nothing. Then this she was like, all y'all hoes, whatever, like that, put her hand in my sister's face. And my sister was like, stop putting your hand in my face. She did something like that. That's when it was the altercation broke out, and then it was a shot fight. But from the beginning, y'all have to see, like, they were acting like we were by them with our drugs. Was wrong, so we came through here respectfully, and they started lollygagging. My sister, she told them, like,
An officer then updates APD's homicide unit about the situation.
I got my supervisor in
We're at 1176 RDA inside of the McDonald's. We had two parties. They went from verbal to physical, and shots were fired. We had one victim shot in the chest. She's extremely low.
If you've taken Uber since 2019, this is money glitch that's getting women properly compensated. Uber allegedly failed to properly screen drivers.
Okay, hey, y'all came to me in the Carmen Cafe and went to our like, subscribe, share, hit notification bell, peace, and one. I'll be back later on with some shorts and shit. Peace, one.